Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And, in this lesson, I just wanted to deal with the topic of giving it your all, okay, especially in this last hour that we're in, and remembering that what Yahweh Shai did, in going on the cross and basically giving us that avenue, that second chance, allows us to be able to have that second chance to prove ourselves, right? Now, we still have the hour of temptation, right? The hour of full-blown Jacob's trouble, right? Martial law, chaos on levels that we haven't seen before. But we trust that Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai is going to take care of us and preserve us through it all, okay? But before that time, you got to be able to show the Lord, are you really about it? Okay? Because we talk about the things that, we have to do as servants of the Lord now, but the time is coming when we're going to have to do those things. Now, as it stands right now, we're doing the things that are required of us as servants of the Lord. Let me just roll these windows up. A little too much background noise out here. But we're doing the things that are required of us as servants of the Lord now. But, even in that, if you got a little bit more in the tank, crank it up. Crank it up. Give it your all. Because why not? Like, there's more to gain in doing that than not. If you're, like, some people, maybe you're playing a game, right? You're like, okay, you in the second quarter, you got 2 more quarters to go. So maybe you're holding out. Or you're running a race, right? If it's track, the first 100 meters, you're trying to find your stride. You're trying to maintain for the next, if you're running maybe a 400 meter, maybe the next 100 or 200 before you get to that last 100 and you give everything you got. This isn't that, okay? This isn't that. Right now, we're at the point where the Lord is going to keep giving you what you need to keep going. You just got to be able to keep on going with everything you got. You're not like, because we're not doing this of our own spirit, right? We're not doing this of our own power, might. It's of the Lord. The Lord is our source. He's the one providing us with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua is the one who's feeding us, who's supercharging us through his spirit. We're plugged into the main frame. So we're pulling directly from the heavens, from the spirit world, from the Lord, and edifying. So really, it's not about how much you got in the tank. The tank is always full, right? The tank is always full. If you plugged into the Spirit of the Lord, the tank is always full. It's about how much capacity the Lord is giving you, right? For example, if you get a car, right? A car has different cars have different engine sizes, and you can fill up your tank, but for different cars, it's going to fill up to a certain amount before it's full, and you can't add any more to it. You don't have to worry about, oh, I got to conserve gas because, I'm almost out. You ain't paying for gas. Okay. If gas is likened onto the spirit, you ain't paying for gas. So fill it up and use it. And when it runs out, fill it up some more and use it. And that's how you do it. Okay. That's what it's like to give it your all. Not worrying about, maybe I'm going to just, no. Give it your all now because you're not going to run out. Now, there's a balance with that. Doesn't mean burn yourself out, right? There's a balance to that. But what it means is every time the Spirit is on you to do the works of the Lord, do it right. Don't do it like this is just going to be one of 10 or one of another or one. No, every single one should be the best way you can. If you think about it, like, okay, if this was the last lesson, that I would be doing before Yahweh Shai comes back, or the last lesson I would be doing, how would I do it? Would I just throw whatever together and then call it a day? No. Because at the end of the day, who is it that you're feeding? The Lord's sheep. Others are going to eat this food, metaphorically speaking, that is. Right? There are others that are going to be listening, that are looking to be edified. And through their edification, comes the reward of the Lord for you, based on how well you're doing your job. So when we pray to the Lord, we want him to give us the best quality things. So when he requests something of us, we got to be willing to give it our all, give it the best. And remember, when the time of Jacob's trouble fully, when we hit the height of it, the peak of it, and we're in the hour of temptation, and we're going through different trials and whatever it is, everybody else is also going to be going through it, but the Lord is going to give us the strength we need. We are not the ones who have to worry about, oh, how are we going to survive and how are we going to do this? The Lord is going to give us what we need in that time, whether it's guidance on where to go and what to do. It's literally written in the book of Second Esdras, the 16th chapter. All you have to show the Lord is, Lord, tell me where to go. I'm going to go, right? Tell me how fast to run. I'm going to, like, all you got to do is just give me the instructions, give me the direction, and I'm going to do it. And right now, the Lord has given us that. He told us what to do, feed his sheep. So right now, that is the current mission. So every day that you wake up, that should be your first priority. Feed the Lord's sheep, do it the best you can, and then repeat. Okay? You feed the sheep, and repeat. Do that which is pleasing unto the Lord, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and just keep it on repeat, giving it the best you got every day, because there's going to be one day that's going to be the last day. There will come a point. This isn't indefinite. There will come a point where it'll be it. And it might feel weird. Like, damn, like we're not going out there no more. We can't do lessons anymore. Like, we're so used to doing that. It's like somebody that's always busy. And then when they finally get free time, they feel weird. They feel like they should be doing something because they're so used to always doing something. But we're coming into that point where the famine of the word is going to come. And we're gonna have to make real life, real time decisions based on what we say we believe in. And there is gonna be a separation there as well. You're gonna see and hear about certain individuals. Just make sure you're not shaken by it. But you're gonna see and hear about certain individuals that you're gonna be like, wait, this person did what now? And what was their reasoning? What? How? I thought they didn't they say this? Didn't they preach this? Or what happened here? Because ultimately, there's a difference between preaching and believing. Not everybody that preaches actually believes what they preach. That's why there's that saying, practice what you preach. Those that actually practice, that believe what they teach and practice what they preach, are the ones that are going to be able to make it in these times. Because you're going to be able to take the right actions based on what you actually believe in when the time is right. You're not going to fold. You're not going to, I gave you the advice on what to do, but when it comes to me actually doing it, I don't know about all that. Nah, you're not going to have time to second guess. When you hit with the hour of temptation on whatever account, are you going to do it or not? That's it. It's not, maybe I got to think about it a little bit. Are you going to do it or not? And the circumstance in which it might be presented to you is going to be different. It might not be the same. You may see, okay, another brother's case in which it was presented to them, and you may be like, damn, if that was my case, man, I would have definitely said no. But the way it came to me was it was different. It was almost tailored to me in a difficult way. It came to me in something, in an avenue that I'm weak in, but something that I really got to sacrifice to maintain that faith, to maintain that integrity, to maintain the honor of serving the Lord. How many people are going to be able to pass that? We've spoken about it so much, it sounds almost diluted, right? The potency of the temptation sounds almost diluted because we're always talking about it. The mark of the beast, the mark of the beast is coming, it's coming, it's coming. But when it actually gets here, there ain't going to be no, it ain't going to be no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to be your decision to make. Obviously, the Lord is going to be the one, influencing you. But at the end of the day, what I mean by that is no other brother is going to be able to make the decision for you. Are you going to take it? Or are you going to remain faithful and trust in the Lord? And there are going to be people that are going to be put in that situation because what you imagine the hour of temptation or the trials that you might have to go through to be might not be what it actually looks like. when it actually happens. Society will look different. Your living situation will be different. You know, your conditions might be different. You might already have been worn out with going through certain things already. And then boom, you're hit with this. Scriptures say that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. But the point is, there is a way to enter into the kingdom. And if there's a saying, where there's a will, there's a way. So how bad do you want it? Do you? I mean, if you lose faith in the Lord, there's actually nothing here for you. I mean, if you were gonna sell out or you were gonna turn your back on the Lord, well, shit, you should have done that decades ago. Because at that point, you would have had a little bit more time before the society completely collapses. But you gonna do it. Like, imagine you walking down the road and there's literally, like, I don't know, half a mile left, and now you're gonna turn your back on the Lord. What are you gonna do with that half a mile? Because at the end of that road, that's it for everybody. It's judgment time. You should have done it damn near 20 miles ago. You'd at least had 20 miles to do some tomfoolery. But what do you get? What do you get from turning your back on the Lord or giving in at the last minute? You mean to tell me you worked your ass off, went through deserts and hills and mountains, and I'm just being metaphorical right now, to get to the actual door, and then you put your hand on the doorknob, you turn the door, you open the door, you see what's on the other side of the door, and you say, I'm too tired, I can't cross it. Nigga, what? Bruh, are you kidding me? You open the door, and there's some fine shit in the same room, not on the other side of the door. There's some fine shit trying to distract you. Nah, don't go into that door. Don't go. You gonna listen. Everything that you see here in the kingdom, there's that much more and better. When what I mean is the actual pleasures of life, not the wicked shit that's done over here, but the pleasures of life is there and better. So what do you actually gain by not completing this race? Nothing. You don't gain anything from that. Your flesh will try to deceive you, but you won't actually gain anything from that. So the best course of action is continue on the path. You know the path, which is a lot further than most people in this world will ever get. We know the path. We know the Lord. We know what's pleasing to the Lord, and we know what He has instructed us to do. All we got to do is just keep doing it. It's not like we haven't even started. We've been doing it for all these years. We just got to keep doing it, wait for the Lord's next instructions, and follow what He tells us to do. End of story, point blank, period. How difficult it may be, how challenging it may be, how much it may test you and try you, well, you got to counteract that with how bad do you want it. All the things you've been look, you get vexed in this society and you think, you know what, it's temporary. You know, it's temporary. You know, at some point, all hell's going to break loose. All this is going to be over. And then that point actually comes, and now what? The moment you've been waiting for, not just in this life or in this generation, but in past lives and past generations, all the things we've had to go through and suffer for, we finally get there, and you can't overcome. That's not good at all. So, you know, we can always do more, and we have to pray to the Lord for that. These things it's not theoretical. When you pray, like, if you want more faith, if you desire more faith, if you desire whatever it is that is beneficial to the will of the Lord, to your growth, pray for it and make a practical effort to do better, and the Lord will actually grant you that. Why would the Lord not do that? You're a servant, you're a worker in a certain company, and you're like, hey, I want to do some certification so I can be better qualified and do better while working in this company. Why wouldn't they do that? So think about it like that. You need more faith, pray for that. More patience, pray for that. More knowledge, wisdom, whatever it is, pray for that, because it's gonna be to serve the Lord anyway. So what do you really gain, or what do you lose from praying to the Lord for that? It's not theoretical. When we say pray, it's practical, it's literal. You pray to the Lord and He actually does these things. But you got to be spiritual. You got to keep your eyes open and actually believe that the Lord can and will do that for you. And in return, you use that to do what it is he has asked. And then you have a nice, good relationship right there. And you keep the cycle going. You desire to do the will of the Lord, so you pray to the Lord to bless you with the Spirit to do the will of the Lord. And then he answers that, and he blesses you with that, and then you do it. So that way, whenever you pray, he wants to answer your prayers because what you're praying for is what he wants. And you just keep that cycle going and going and going. And before you know it, the kingdom is going to be here. And that the one place you want to be, you don't want to be looking up from the midst of a fiery hell. No, no, no. You want to be looking down from the comfort of the presence of Yahushua. Not to be in fear at his return, but to be overfilled with joy and excitement and like the good kind of fear. Not the fear of destruction, but the fear, like the godly fear coupled with joy and excitement, right? As the scriptures say, joy unspeakable. That's where you want to be. So this is our proving grounds, and we got to show the Lord through our endurance, through our diligence, through our faith, through our willingness to go the extra mile, to go whatever mile the Lord asks us to do. If he, as long as he has showed us the way, we got to show the Lord that we're willing to walk it. And if we can do that, there is literally no limitation to where you can go. Just put your mind to it and pray to the Lord. Whatever it is you need me to do, I'm going to do it. So why not? Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and exhorting to the elect. And this isn't a message that is exclusive to the teachers, to prophets. It's to all of us. We may not all have the same roles, but whatever role you have, you should strive to be the best you can at it. If you're a helper, you want to be that helper that's so good at what you do that damn you written of and remembered in the scriptures. Like, damn, this guy stood out more than somebody who was a prophet because of how well they they did what they did to in the fear of the Lord to serve the Lord. Whatever it is, whatever position you find yourself in, you can even be a wife of a prophet. How can you be the best wife possible? Like think in a selfless way. Like, okay, how can the things that I do contribute to serving the Lord? Well, if I'm not out there, like I'm not directly teaching, but my husband or my man is, well, let me try to make it so his life is easier. You know, like sometimes he may be stressed or whatever, but hey, you can even have certain conversations that will get him into the spirit. And through that, it might inspire him to do a lesson. You see like, hey, you know what? I see that he's trying, but he doesn't really get these top. You know what? Maybe let me try to make it a habit to where I'll ask certain questions. You know, I'll ask certain questions. I'll probe his mind a bit. I might try to discuss certain things with him just to get his spiritual juices flowing, and that might maybe trigger him to do a lesson. Like you think outside of yourself. Think of the whole picture, right? How can whatever role I have play a bigger, like help in the bigger picture? If I'm a friend or if I'm a listener or somebody that's watching, like what can I do? What do I have? What my life, like what traits has the Lord given me? How can I just do even the slightest thing that can help contribute to the ministry? And once you find that, you hone in on it, you sharpen it, and you do the best. You do the best you can with it. And the Lord will reward you because that's the lot he put you in. And you show the Lord, he said, Lord, look, you may have given me the least of the lots out there, but man, I did it like it was the greatest. So much so that it was recognized. Like be that person. Don't settle for average or mediocrity, man. That's not you're not gonna be remembered for that. That's not gonna do you any good. Strive to be the best you can for the sake of doing it, not for clout or vainglory or all of that, because that's not a driving factor. Why? Because when there's no clout or glory, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be motivated to do it. So do it with all your might, do it with all your heart, do it with all your spirit, because you fear the Lord and you sincerely are trying to please the Lord. And if you carry that mindset, there's nothing you cannot do. Anyway, now I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and exhorting to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Until next time, shalom.